Welcome, Hoosier fans, to this Wednesday edition of Banner Morning, your weekday rundown of IU basketball news and notes. I'm Jared Morris, host of the Assembly Call, and we're 3 days away from Indiana's next chance to get a win. In team news, Archie Miller made a few interesting comments during his radio show on Monday night. He mentioned that Romeo Langford has been dealing with a nagging ligament stretch near his thumb on his right hand, something that's been bothering him since high school. It is apparently not a perpetual issue, but does get aggravated by contact. Miller said, quote, to his credit, he plays through it and doesn't say anything, unquote. Archie also discussed Deron Davis's strong recent play and said that he wants to use more lineups with Juwan and Deron playing together. And Archie highlighted that both Deron and Al Durham are players who have joined Juwan Morgan in being vocal leaders for the team. On the injured players, Archie made it sound like Race Thompson's return to the lineup is coming soon. As for Jerome Hunter, he is starting to do some conditioning work, which has resulted in a few setbacks. As expected, they are taking it slow as Jerome returns from surgeries to treat a lower leg condition. In Bracketology news, Andy Bottoms released his latest bracket projections on Tuesday afternoon, and it finally happened. He dropped the Hoosiers from his projections. He did list the Hoosiers in his first 5 out section, saying this, quote, despite owning wins over 3 of the committee's top 16 seeds, the Hoosiers simply have too many losses to be included in current projections. All 11 defeats fall in quads 1 and 2, but a 2-7 road record is a blemish the committee will surely take into consideration. The opportunities are there to get back on the right side of the cut line, but very little we've seen from Indiana of late suggests that will happen, unquote. And in current Big Ten standings news, Indiana is currently 4-9 in Big Ten play, which is tied with Rutgers for 10th in the conference. Rutgers owns the tiebreaker currently, with one more game remaining between the two teams. Northwestern is right behind at 3-9, and Nebraska is 3-10. As depressing as this is to discuss, it's worth tracking over the final few weeks of the season. The 11th through 14th place teams all have to play on Wednesday at the Big Ten tournament. Down the stretch, Indiana has only 3 games remaining against teams currently in the bottom half of the standings. Saturday at Minnesota, and in March at Illinois and at home versus Rutgers. The Hoosiers' other 4 games are against Purdue, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan State, and while 3 of them are at home, the Hoosiers will need to actually win another home game before we can reasonably assume that to be an advantage. For the links mentioned in this edition of Banner Morning, visit assemblycall.com. And remember to use the URL iutickets.shop to visit SeatGeek for the best prices on IU basketball tickets. That's iutickets.shop, promo code ASSEMBLY for $10 off your first purchase. And go to iutickets.shop to find tickets for those upcoming home games because there are still some interesting dates left on the schedule. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new edition of Banner Morning. Until then, keep your elbows in and your eyes on the rim, and go Hoosiers.